I honestly cannot believe that this is my first review of 2024. However, it's a really good one. It's a really good one, so stay with me. And that is The Substance, which is directed by Coralie Farja, and this is her sophomore feature. First being 2017's Revenge, a renowned actress and aerobics instructor is fired on her 50th birthday. Her life only takes a spiraling turn when she is offered a black market drug called a substance, which promises her a more perfect version of herself. Let me preface this video by stating that I absolutely adore this film. From the moment that I saw the trailer, something about it, I think it was the combination of body horror. That was the selling point because I've stated so many times in the past how body horror is one of my favorite subgenres. But of course, when I saw the casting of this film, which is Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley, Dennis Quaid, I was like, okay, this is Demi Moore. That was a big selling point as well. I was like, okay, something about this film, I know it's going to be my type of horror movie. I'm going to be the target audience for it. Okay, so where to start with this review? I did watch an interview with Coralie Farja, and she does talk about drawing inspiration from real life personal experiences that she's had. And for me personally, watching this movie, it seems to delve into the desirability factor, as I'm calling it, idea of retaining beauty at any cost. But I think it's also talking about society's view on aging, and specifically when it comes to women and how women are treated past a certain stage in their life. Additionally, the film does present the psychological effects that it has on the protagonist because of these rigid beauty standards. And so Elizabeth is going through the motions of this sudden terrible news delivered by her boss, Harvey, the exec of the company, played by Dennis Quaid. And I will say, like with the men in this movie, I'm going to categorize as either reprehensible and or desperate. The framing technique in this movie, the way it's done, which is almost like this fisheye lens, you get to see Dennis Quaid's character or the shareholders in particular. It's like an uncomfortable uneasiness how close they are. I'm gonna be quite honest, I forget it's even Dennis Quaid. He's so good at playing this character who's got this personality that's flippant. He's a little bit flamboyant and pompous, and yeah, he's just he he leaves me kind of speechless because he's kind of annoying. He's really annoying. Let me just be clear. I feel like you probably have seen people like that in real life. I really don't think it's a caricature. What I personally found terrifying about this film is the idea of losing yourself. Losing your true self to a fixation that has dire and irreparable consequences. That coupled with some insane visual effects, special effects, bodily fluids, man, when it comes to injections and abusing said treatment. It is it is pretty up there with some of the more disgusting things that I've seen, but that's what I mean is like the attention to detail with how they were it just it looks so real, giving me a little tinge of Requiem for a Dream because of the substance abuse. Something also that I've not mentioned is just the way in which the female body is presented in the film. And so Elizabeth stares at herself in the mirror in her bathroom with this self-loathing. She's fully nude. There's a lot of female nudity in here, and it's such a stark difference with Demi Moore's character, Elizabeth, compared to Margaret Qualley's, who's this younger, bubbly, ingenue, new girl in town who's basically taken the city by storm. This movie is just such an amped up experience from start to finish. It makes me think of another film that I've watched that I've talked about on this channel a while back. Both of them body horror, but trust me, very different experiences. So I'm not trying to conflate the two. But I have it somewhere here. Let me see. Yeah, this sick little film that I've talked about already. I got this at Viper Video from Shelby for free. Thank you. Thank you, Shelby, for this. The substance kind of remind me of a mesh of several films, and I don't mean that in like a shady way, trying to be all these things. I very much so think that this film is quite unique. For me, I thought of Thanatomorphos, but I also thought of Malignant for some reason, and then Belial from Basket Case. Nothing could have prepared me for that climax. That entire third act, it takes it to such absurd heights. And I had to ponder over this movie for a second. I was thinking, do I still like it? Am I still rolling with it? Yes. Drenched in this sanguine covered stage. I absolutely adored it. I do. It's just it's such a wild ride. It far exceeded my expectations because I'm saying that as in like it could have stopped at a certain point and I would have been like, okay, yeah, I totally understand that. But then it just kept going and going and going and going. I'm like, where are we going with this? And let me just say, all across the board, the way this movie is able to balance between the more serious content and its more campier, humorous, and expressive tones, it just does so seamlessly. Balance being the operative word here, since it isn't restored the further we succumb to the substance. But in my head, the more I replay that third act, it's just I think it's so many things that I've already described, but it's also the score, the intensity of that, the way like my heart was racing. It's one of the few films this year to actually get me going. It did make me uneasy though. A lot of moments in this film made me uneasy. I would say the only film to actually truly terrify me this year was Cuckoo, which is one of my favorites that I've watched, and that has to do with like the gnat sounds that were involved. That I thought somebody was behind me in the theater, me and Blair's grandma, when we went to go see it. The only thing that I will say that does enter into spoiler territory is that Margaret Qualley, who plays Sue, is the younger version that comes out of Elizabeth Sparkle. Poster that you see, she quite literally comes out of her back. Okay, but I went on a website called marieclaire.com. Thank you for posting this because it was quite informative. Pop Effects, who is the visual special effects team that worked on The Substance. Pierre Olivier, he was the head of the makeup design team, was the unzipped spine on Elizabeth's body and the hole in her back that Sue detracts liquid prosthetics on Demi Moore's body, or was there a dummy built? And their response was it was a little bit of everything. We had quite sophisticated silicone dummies. We had 2 for the birth. We also had matching prosthetic makeup on the body double, and some days we applied the makeup on Demi. Honestly, I'm just rambling. Go check it out. It's definitely worth the theater experience. Before I go, I did want to show you guys Lacey because I don't really show her on this channel much, but she looks so adorable. Here, let me just clip this real quick. Oh, my little butterfly. She's so cute. My little balding baby. I hope you guys have a great night, and hopefully this review made sense. Bye.